pay for. It's remote, it's far away, it's in the future. We keep being told, okay, you know, it's going to happen at some point. And so it's quite difficult to embody what climate change means at a very personal level, unless you, I think, living directly off the land, where you are exposed to the elements and what that means for your livelihoods.
People outside, you're always cutting the trees. We're doing a lot of things because, you know, in the township, we have all the people who want a housing. Now you're cutting all the forest, and then you want to put the housing there, and then that's I want to learn about that.
Message making or telling stories through film and through theatre, to really find out what are the best practices that really inspire people and enliven them to shift or transform their behaviour. And that's what I think I'd love to learn from the exchange.
We feel the immensity of this thing we're facing, and when we really, really think about what it is and understand it, it can be quite shattering, and trying to bring that across in a way that is empowering rather than just devastating.
You know, communicating academic sort of findings in a way that really makes a difference doesn't just end up in a report on someone's shelf, that they might just read the executive summary and that's it.
So it's not enough to say we want to stop climate change and we need targets on the table. So by '94 they'd said they wanted a 20% emissions cut by 2005, basically to survive.
Level, and just especially given the urgency of the change that needs to happen, I do feel more and more that the pressure is going to have to come from a very big groundswell.
Interact with outside people don't think like this, you know. So I'm like, you know, the crazy hippie. But then when I'm in here, I'm in a different position, but I'm much more mainstream. So that I think I feel a lot more confident to engage with the process and express ideas and spread things around.
I do a lot of workshops, and the way that I think about design and creativity is definitely about experimentation and play, and you can see that people are like affected by it, and that's why I believe in like personal agency, which is what Karen was talking about, because it's about your way of experiencing the world can rub off on other people around us.
Basically, what you do is you take the sun rays and you collect them and focus them onto a point, and then that point gets really hot, and then you use that heat to drive your steam turbines and produce electricity, right? But now you can also store that heat, so that if you couple it with like a storage system, then you can produce your electricity later into the evening and into the night, and eventually you can actually get 24-hour electricity supply from a renewable energy source.
A personal agency. What do I do as a human being who is seeing this thing that's going on to my world, and then I don't understand why they can't make any decision in Cancun, and what am I supposed to do? Where is my level of activism and focus? And I think that's a very good question. You have a whole future for the planet to say. You have a mission that will carry you through your whole life and through many generations. And if you're very focused, sometimes it's worth working with the UN system. And some days it's worth blowing the whistle and challenging the UN system and saying, it's not up to you to destroy the planet. That's what you